How's it going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, Quiz Trades. In this video, I'm going to do an entire March's month trade recap. Um, this month has officially concluded for trading. I mean, we do have like uh, 2 more trading days, I think. Let's see real quick. Yeah, 2 more trading days, but I'm gonna just do a trade recap for March. Honestly, pretty good month. Price did, act exactly how I expected. If you watch any of my earlier videos, or even if you watch my videos from the end of last year, I was saying that, eventually we're going to top out, going to form some type of model. I said a SMT with ES is most likely what's going to happen. We got that SMT, then just standard procedure, right? We get our change in state, which was February. February gave us our change in state when we closed through this. March gave us a nice rebalance move, and now it's distributing. So I do expect April to continue the distribution, and then for us to put in our models somewhere between end of April, beginning of May. I definitely expect us to bottom out around here, and like everything that's going on, none of it is random. The war and everything, none of it is random. Trump has already been showing that he's able to manipulate the markets with simple words. So, once we do get around here and the algorithm has fulfilled itself, then you're going to start hearing Trump saying the war is over, this, and then we're going to go on like a 6-month devious bull run all the way back up. So this is more what I'm focused on catching, all the way back up and higher. Because what I noticed is, so because this year, let me explain it like this. Last year, we swept 2024 lows. So that was our yearly model, right? So that was our liquidity sweep. The moment Trump got into office, he kind of knew he's going to have to do something. And this is just why he's a very good economist, whether you agree with that or not. He at least knows how to run the markets, right? So this year we swept previous year low, and then in the same year we got our change in state. So what does it mean? What is this year acting as, right? This year is acting as our rebounds, and then we have more distribution. So if you think that all-time highs was here and we're never going to reach it, we have still another year or two, probably Trump's entire term, it's going to be distribution. So this is our model here, change in state, rebounds, and now we're going to distribute even higher. So yeah, just kind of wanted to, get that out the way. But for the trade recaps for all of March, let's get straight into that. Honestly, price action wasn't the best. But it was, even for me, I don't think price action was the best. Let me see real quick. Where's March start? Okay. So right here, this is how February ended. Right, you can see that we closed through this order block. So we clearly got a change in state to the downside, right? The last week of February gave us a weekly model when we swept the high. So now we're looking for a daily high sweep. We're targeting previous month low, and we're targeting this low, and overall what we're targeting is equilibrium down here, right? Because we know we're going from ERL to IRL, then back up to ERL. So boom, first day of March opens, and we already get this previous day high sweep, right? So we have our previous week high sweep, and now we have a previous day high sweep. Now we just got to make sure, is this within equilibrium? You can see we're well above equilibrium. Put it from this low, we're well above equilibrium. All right, so we have equilibrium, previous day high sweep, high time frame narrative. We know what's going on. So what happens next? We dump, right? Take out this internal weekly low. But even that, I guess, this wasn't the main move, right? Yes, we caught this. I actually didn't take any shorts on this. Let's see real quick. Yeah, I didn't take shorts on this because I didn't have my account up and running yet. And I'll explain why that wasn't enough for us to take out the monthly low. Because when you see from the entire month range for equilibrium, what does Monday not pull into? monthly equilibrium, right? So we don't expect this to be month high. Now, Wednesday pulls into the entire range's equilibrium. We're in this entire order block. Holds CE of that order block very nicely as well. Then Thursday gives us our previous day sweep. And it gives us a 4-hour change in state. Friday, we tap right into that change in state level, right? This down close candle before, hold on. So here, this down close candle before this up move to sweep previous day highs, our change in state. If we were going to hold that, then we'd continue to be bullish because we closed through it. Now it's confirmed that we're targeting Wednesday low. So Friday taps right into that, holds it perfectly, and then we continue to dump. So this was the first trade I took. Boom, boom. Right now we take out monthly low. And then the next day, Monday, Tuesday, here we go. So once again, we had this 4-hour change in state to the upside on Monday. So it was clear to me that we were coming for Friday high. I actually got stopped on this because I entered prematurely. I entered on this 4-hour candle when we first swept this high. But then as you can see, we didn't get that change in state. So I didn't actually wait for the change in state. Price came back up, turtle souped it, tapped into CE of this order block once again. I want to see something real quick. Equilibrium is right there. Yeah, we did tap into equilibrium the first time, which is fine, right? Then all we pretty much wait for is the change in state if I were to re-enter. So now this candle gave us our change in state on Wednesday. And then you'll see we got a retracement back to the upside. And that's where you could take another short. I just didn't take it because I was kind of like, okay, I'm done. Already tried once. I'm done with that. And then, oh shit, hold on. And then the next trade that I actually got edged on was longs off of this rejection block right here. So because this low took out previous month low, it acts as a rejection block. And I actually had my entry at CE of this rejection block. You can see price like 5 ticked it away. But even that, the reason I wasn't tripping about missing it was because it was trading against the high time frame bias, which is bearish. So it wasn't that big of a deal. I then actually wanted, for like the past 2 weeks, I was waiting for another previous week high sweep. Because what we had done was we left these two relative equal highs. So I was kind of waiting that we come out SMT and turtle soup these highs, which we didn't end up doing. That's not actually how Wednesday opened. Where is that? Tuesday, and then Wednesday open like that. Okay. So Wednesday, I didn't take any shorts on here. I was actually looking for longs because what I wanted was us to come higher. So I got stopped out on longs. I entered at, I think it was, what range was it? I think it was at this range. Yeah, so I entered right at 0.236, but I ended up getting stopped the next day on Thursday because it continued to dump lower. As you can see like that. Thursday, Friday, then took out the low again. Then this week, Trump, said some war shit, and we pulled up into here. And again, I was going to look for shorts. I had limits set right here at this 4-hour order block because we had standard deviation. We had CE of this entire wick right there. So we had a lot of confluences paired up. We also had OTE. So, if price had pulled 100 points higher, would have caught this whole move down. We did have an SMT Wednesday and Tuesday high, which actually caused us to dump further. But I think what really threw me off was just expecting us to either take out these weekly highs or to pull up a little higher. Because even for this Wednesday, I had short limits set at equilibrium. Actually, yeah. At equilibrium of this whole range. Am I looking at something wrong? 230 should have been. Yeah, it was 230. So price ended up pulling. Actually, I can delete that. Price ended up pulling 207. I limit set at 230. Just because I wanted us to pull into equilibrium once again. At least if we weren't fulfilling previous week high sweeps, I wanted equilibrium on the entire range to be fulfilled. But we just unfortunately missed that as well. So the last 2 weeks, I got edged 3 times. Pause. First on Monday longs, Wednesday shorts. I called the shorts out in my Discord as well. That I expected us to dump from 230, but the past 3 trades on my live, I got edged because I had short limits here, as you can see, didn't get tapped into. Short limits here and then long limits at CE. This one was the only successful trade. This one got prematurely stopped, but overall, everything played out how I expected to, as usual. Now for April, I am just expecting. There's 2 things I'm expecting the next 2 months to play out as. It's either April comes up and we actually sweep a week high, and fulfill equilibrium, and then we continue to dump all of April, and then I expect May. Then I expect us to come down to, equilibrium of this whole range, and then I expect May to sweep April low, and then for the second half of the year to continue to rip. Or what April is going to do. Why did this close like that? I don't know why these both are closing very differently. 2, 3. What the fuck? Oh, because I'm in replay. That confused me. There we go. So I'm expecting April to either rebalance. Monday, SMT, okay. So I'm expecting April to either rebalance up into like these order blocks over here, this up move, and sweep at least a weekly high, and then us, dump lower. Or what April's going to do is just going to continue to dump with no model, and then it's going to put in a full model down here, and then last week of April will kind of come all the way back up, and then May will give us, like April gives a change in state, May will give us a nice rebalance, and then continue to rip. But I do expect the next 2 months to be very pivotal to catch longs for the rest of the year. I actually did take some gold moves as well for March. Let me do that as well. I did actually get rid of everything though. Let's see, I can kind of just eyeball it. March, I didn't catch this. So there was longs from here up to previous week high, and then the shorts here were devious. I didn't catch any up until here, this previous day high sweep and this daily gap, but I did not hold it for as long. Like I closed it once we took out this low, but we continued to just dump, and then as you can see, we fulfilled equilibrium on a yearly range. So this is kind of how I'm expecting NQ to act now, right? For us to dump into equilibrium of a yearly range. We tapped into this weekly, monthly bullish gap, and then I was just waiting for a previous day low sweep. So this gave us displacement to the upside. Then we came back, we got that previous day low sweep, we held CE of this rejection block, and we held equilibrium of the range we made. So I took longs off of that. And then on a funded, I took, because I'm back trading fundeds every day, so there'll be more trade recaps, but I'll still probably just do weekly trade recaps, but there'll be about like 10 trades in that full week, and I'll break it down better. But I took longs off of this move right here. So we had left this order block, and then I basically just took it off true day open, stops right here. I got edged on my stops, and then I took TP at lunch high, and I had my final TP set at previous day high, but I closed pretty early. Could have passed that zone in one day, but we're halfway there. So this was the full trade, but I took TP at this high. And second TP was here, and then third TP was here. So the whole trade ended up playing out. But even for gold, I do expect us to start getting on a bull run, but we'll see. I do kind of think we're kind of going to have pretty choppy price action because we have all of this high level resistance liquidity, right? So even if we are bullish, we're going to have these bearish PDRAs that market is going to have to respect, which will give good entries, but it's just not going to be as smooth of price action. For example, like we have this 4-hour order block, so it's clear that market wants to go higher because we do, but you can see how for these 3-4 hour candles we kind of chop before we wait for the right thing, which was just NYAM, and then we rip all the way to previous day high. So in the same way, like we might have a couple days that are holding bearish PDRAs because we're just waiting for the right time of the week for us to rip, and the moves might be all in one day. But other than that, pretty simple month. There's about, I'd say like 4 to 5 very good opportunities. This Thursday was a very good opportunity. This Tuesday wasn't too bad of an opportunity, but wanting this week high sweep could have caused confusion. This Wednesday was a good opportunity. If we pulled into equilibrium, would have been much better. And then this Monday, in my opinion, was not that good of an opportunity because market ripped at such a random time. There wasn't really like narrative or structure to build on, which is why I expected one more day of bullishness, like for Tuesday to be bullish as well, fulfill equilibrium up here, or at least tap into this order block, fulfill standard deviation, like finish the model, but price ended up just dumping. This was the first Tuesday trade, and I kind of just want to show how much it would be up if I held that the whole time. It's devious. All the way down to equilibrium. But eventually, we're going to catch trades like that. On the way up, it's going to look something like the way up is pretty much going to be like this. So we take it from here. It's going to look something like this. 5,000 points. Stop like that where we put our low. And honestly, this will keep going. Because see, the thing is, I'll explain why right here. The reason I know this April model isn't done, last year's model, and how this is a rebalance, is because standard deviation of this model hasn't been completed yet. Right, look at where we're supposed to go. So we tapped into one level of standard deviation. Let me make sure it's right. There we go. So we haven't even tapped into one level yet. Right, for a weekly change in state off a yearly model, standard deviation lines up here. So it's just very clear that this is a rebalance, and then we're going to continue to fulfill this model before we get an actual new yearly function. Like this is just a very clear yearly model, change in state, displacement, rebalance, fractalized model on the monthly time frame, and then continue to rip. So that's why I do think May will sweep April low, because then that will give us our monthly liquidity sweep that will function us. Because like sweeping these monthly lows don't count compared to when this candle has fulfilled equilibrium and then we're getting that previous month low. Other than that though, pretty simple. I will be trading fundeds for all of April, May, and June, because I do, I'm only going to try to catch one main move on my live, so I'm not just going to give one trade recap. I will be trading every day, looking for like 8 to 10 trades a week, so trade recaps will be a little more hefty and actually go into detail a little more. The thing about these is like, if I do a trade recap the same day that I take the trade, I kind of remember everything, but because like on these trade recaps, it's more like this was beginning of the month, so second week of the month, only like this one was pretty recent. Just the complete thinking of what I was thinking in the moment has kind of changed from now after seeing price play out. But you'll get more in-depth trade recaps. And I probably will do a backtesting session tomorrow And I can just record the whole thing, just do a raw back testing session and drop that so you guys can see kind of how my thinking has changed after. I think the last time I did a raw back testing session was, I think, somewhere in September, maybe like October. So it's been, a good 4 or 5 months since then. So you guys can see kind of how the way I think when it comes to trading now has changed and how it's grown and adapted over time. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a comment if you have any questions, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.